Hello and welcome to the ID Talk podcast. My name is Peter Counter and I am the editor-in-chief of FindBiometrics, which reported live from New York last week at the ISC East Security Conference. Our own Doug OGorden was on the exhibition floor speaking to the leading biometrics and identity vendors at the show, getting a read on the pulse of our dynamic and rapidly evolving industry. In this special episode of the ID Talk podcast, OGorden speaks with Bobby Varma, CEO of ISC Biometrics pioneer Princeton Identity. Varma begins with a rundown of Princeton's latest technologies and her impressions of this year's conference before delving into some of the drivers behind the current interest in ISC biometrics, including the modality's emerging use cases in commercial real estate. It's a fascinating conversation about an exciting biometric modality, so let's get right to it. Here is FindBiometrics' Doug OGorden in conversation with Princeton Identity CEO Bobby Varma at ISC East 2021.
Hi, FindBiometrics listeners. Doug OGorden, Content and Media Strategy Manager. I'm sitting down with Bobby Varma, CEO of Princeton Identity. We're at ISC East, and Bobby's exhibiting. The Princeton Identity is exhibiting here. And thanks for sitting down with me for a couple of minutes, Bobby. What are you showcasing here at the show?
Doug, it's actually great to be here, and thank you for taking the time to speak with me as well. So we are showcasing our Access 200 product. As a matter of fact, we just launched a new platform called Embrace ID, which is all about how do we take our Access 200 product line and be able to do face, iris, authentication, and also using cards and mobile credentials all on a single platform, and be able to integrate that into currently existing access control software that are out there. So it's very relevant for people who already have an access control software, but now they want to add a way to authenticate devices, to authenticate people entering the building, and that's what we provide right now. And the great thing about this solution is it gives you the flexibility to be able to use biometrics or cards or biometrics on cards or even mobile credential using a single device.
Great. This is interesting to be back physically. What's your impressions being at ISC East, attendance and just feedback on the show itself?
I think it's great. I mean, I'm very happy to be back. It's been,
Isn't it nice?
Yeah, I know it is. It's been 2 years of hiatus. Now he's just staying and doing Zoom calls. So actually it's nice to kind of meet people in person, meet with your customers in person, meet with your partners in person. So I must say it's been wonderful to be back. I expected it to be less crowded, so I was kind of pleasantly surprised that it looks like it's well attended. But
same traffic flow as in past years. I think it feels very similar to.
Yeah.
It's not down.
It's not down. Yeah.
Very steady.
Very steady. I was going to say, yeah, and especially like first day, it was great. We got to meet a lot of good people.
I don't want to use the word jam packed, but it was like being at ISC East.
It was at ISC East, right?
Yeah.
And it's great to be in the center of New York City, so which is great. You get to a lot of traffic here, so it was nice to be back.
At FindBiometrics, we are seeing a renewed interest in iris biometrics. As contactless experiences continue to trend, where are you seeing the most demand for iris recognition?
Well, it's interesting because we are starting to, inherently iris has been in the past used for very secure facilities like data centers and healthcare facilities or government. That's where predominantly iris was used. However, we're starting to see where now iris is starting to bleed into more commodity space. There's a renewed interest now. People are looking at iris for convenience. We're seeing some interest in enterprise level customers where they are getting quite a bit of pushback for face. So they're looking at other modalities they can use to provide the convenience and the security for their employees. So we're seeing quite a bit of that. We're seeing a bit of renewed interest in commercial real estate, in the industrial real estate where data centers, but also manufacturing plants, where they have large volume of people, they want to get them through. But their employees are concerned about using face, so again, they want to leverage Iris to be able to get their employees in the facility.
Mm-hmm. Great. Last question. It's really an ask from you. We're putting together our 19th annual Year in Review, which is a research project on all the modalities across all verticals that we're studying. What success stories, what home runs, what product launches, what have you done in 2021 you could tell us about that you find your biggest success of this year?
Well, so I would say, as I said to you when we started this, that we have launched Embrace ID. Similarly, we actually have launched another platform called Create ID, specifically focused on commercial real estate, right? So another product that we have launched. We have had some traction in commercial real estate, specifically with in Dubai. We're starting to see a similar trend here in the United States as well. We launched into some more products into surgery centers as well. So we're seeing a bit of trend there as well. So I would say, it's been surprisingly, I know initially we were looking at health, higher education, but surprisingly, we're seeing, again, an uptick in commercial real estate. And that's been, I can't say enough about that, where pleasant surprise where people are looking at touchless access control. They want to get their tenants in there. They want to have the tenant experience. So, Iris is becoming something that people are constantly looking at. So very happy about that as far as, our two platform launches there. With our customers, as I said, we're seeing, as I said, in Dubai, here in the United States, in healthcare facilities, in surgery centers, hospitals, and also in higher education. We're seeing an uptick of that.
New verticals.
New verticals for
That's
us,
great.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's great, right, for us being able to use, again, for Princeton Identity, being able to use multimodal systems so we can leverage both face and iris and give that flexibility to our customer.
Sure. Well, and it wouldn't have been a good interview in ISC East unless we had some sirens in our discussion. I was going to say there's probably going to be another one, but we are live, and it was great to sit down with you. And thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
And what's the best way to get a hold of you or your company? What's the best way to our listeners to reach out to you?
Absolutely. So definitely go and visit our website, www.princetonidentity.com. Would love to hear from you guys. We actually have business development sales at princetonidentity.com, so have definitely reach out to us there. I'm LinkedIn. Please, I'm happy to get people there as well.
Awesome. Have a great show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bobby.
Okay, bye-bye.
And so concludes our interview with Bobby Varma, CEO of Princeton Identity. For more information on the topics discussed in this episode, visit princetonidentity.com. And for more live event coverage of ISC East, stay tuned to FindBiometrics.com. Thank you again to Bobby for joining us on this episode, and thank you to Doug OGorden for conducting the interview. Our podcast theme music is by Logomrad. I have been your host, Peter Counter. Thank you for listening to the ID Talk podcast.